Massive shout out to our sponsors, Solar City. Without them, the podcast wouldn't be possible.
For tailored installs, site visits by experts, not salesmen, don't come to the Two Diddies, go to Solar City Scotland.
Massive thank you to our sponsors, Arc Accountancy. If you're someone that's a sole trader or runs a limited company and are looking for an accountant, these are your guys.
They handle the numbers, you handle the business. Contact Arc Accountancy. Thanks so much for believing in the Diddies.
Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Two Diddies, episode 6, now that we're on to. I'm Ross, as always, and this is Stephen, my co-host.
And today we've got a special guest, business owner and friend of ours, Gary Hunter. What's happening, mate? What's going on?
Not much, mate. Thanks for having me on.
It's a pleasure. So obviously you two know each other previously anyway, grew up together.
I've known Gary for a long, too long actually.
Arch enemies, mate. When we were
Too long, we were arch enemies when we were boys. And
is this a big enough table then?
Just about, they keep yourself there.
Is that chair alright?
Start barking at them.
A long time we've known each other for, and then played football together. Then we both moved into the PT game where we ended up in the same gym together, and now we're somehow on a podcast together.
Full circle, mate.
That's how we both, well, I met both of you in the same gym. To be honest, it's actually a bit of a crazy whirlwind, but when we first met, we were talking about the ups and lows of the PT game and stuff like that, but now you're opening your own business, CAKED, absolutely flying, shop opening and stuff like that. Let's find out more about that.
So we're opening a shop in Annie's Land Cross on the 22nd of November, 10 a.m. will be our grand opening. And it's just a bit like what we spoke about, in it, full circle, that we've went from being a PT to opening a cake shop. It's a bit
madness, mate. And see, with that, you opened Cake before in lockdown, so that was when you first started it.
That's right.
So what tells a bit about that?
Came about in lockdown. I think we'll tie in with things about like the army and that. So it was when I was in the army as well. It's a bit of a mad story. And I was injured and I was just looking for a bit of a hobby, and it turned into a business, and we went into lockdown, and it obviously took off with the way things were in lockdown, with everyday ordering stuff online and whatnot. And then after lockdown, it sort of just went in the back burner a wee bit, and I fell back into like employment, like full-time employment, working for somebody else and whatnot. It just always there, mate, that I wanted to bring it back, do you know what I mean? So it just seemed to feel at the right time that it came back. I don't know even where it came from. We will talk about it, but it's a mad story.
It's probably, as you said, they're falling into an employment where you're not enjoying it.
Absolutely.
See that no enjoying something we're talking about on the way up here. Find something you're happy, a bit of purpose, even what that's no shitty job. To do the thing you're doing financially and do something on the side that's clearly worked. You know what I mean? You're doing the cake business already. So we're buzzing to get done. You say the 22nd?
22nd of November, 10 in the morning, we'll cut the ribbon, and then we'll be
cut the
open all
ribbon,
weekend.
we'll get a special guest. We'll get a wee fee.
We said we'll get a wee episode of the Two Diddies running the shop.
Running into the ground.
Jack and Victor, I'll be away for something.
Jake's on fire.
Opens the 22nd, shuts the 23rd.
There's a flash sale on the fucking day. There's a fucking thing.
Just big Diddy cakes.
Everything's well fired because it's a fucking been dirty.
It couldn't.
There's a fire sale the next day.
We were all saying, man, we should do like an episode of the Bake Off with you two.
That would be hilarious.
I'll just be the judge. That'd be funny to make
that is definitely happening.
We definitely need to do that.
So obviously with that kind of thing with the business and stuff going on, is it you're going to be trying to make more branches and stuff like that? Obviously with you're looking to have cakes at all over the place. That's what we were hoping to do with Elite Evolution.
Mate, the thing is, right, see, when I talk about cake, I think I talk about it with such a level of like deludedness that some people look at me, right, and they're like, he's fucking nuts, man, right? But see me, mate, I truly believe in what I want to do with it, and I want it to become at least a 7-figure business. And the thing is when I look at the other businesses that Cake's kind of modelled on, if you like.
Yeah,
some of them are pushing 8 figures now, which is for people doing cakes, it's crazy.
I know, it's bonkers.
So for me though, I don't really have any limitations to my mindset with this. I fully believe that you create your own ceiling. So it's like if my ceiling's 8 figures, then that's where I'm working towards.
Yeah.
Where does that leave me now though? I mean, you're probably talking like that could be a decade down the road, right? But that's how I kind of work with my mindset is I'm trying to focus more on working in decades now than working in month periods or year to year, don't get me wrong, you have to have small goals, right? I believe fully to keep you progressing towards that big decade goal, you have to obviously have the smaller, more achievable goals, the milestones. So, for example, open the shop, that's a small milestone, but to some people that would be a huge milestone.
That's massive, but the thing is, it's small in the grand scheme of things.
Small in my vision.
Small in 10 years, over 10 years span.
Correct,
but
exactly.
right now, coming for us three sitting in a fucking parking lot, man, talking about how we hated the PT sometimes or whatever, people not turning up, to now opening your own business. I was sitting like that.
It's even the shop coming already, that's very quick. Consider, so I know you started in lockdown, but then you fell away from it. To have a shop coming already is very, very fast.
Well, essentially, we started business again in February, right? So this is where it all spiralled from, was actually, believe it or not, was that conversation that we had in the gym that day, because that was around January time, if I remember right, start of the year. And I was working as an engineer in telecoms, and I hated it, right? I absolutely hated the mundane Monday to Friday. Now, I want to say one thing, see if you have that and you enjoy it, that's great.
Yeah,
if what you do makes you happy, like, that's great. I'm not sitting here telling you you've got to quit your job and start a business, right? If you're happy with what you do, that's fantastic. But I was not happy. Like, my mental health was an absolutely atrocious state. And I've struggled with my mental health my whole life. So when I got back to that point of struggling again, I was like, how have I ended up here again, man? And I just made it my responsibility. I was like, I'm just going to make my own mental health my own responsibility. And off the back of that conversation we had, I'm just made a decision. And it's quite funny, mate. I walked into my mum and dad, right? And I was like, because I was staying on a pal at the time. I walked into them and I was like, just to let you know, I'm moving back in and I'm starting CAKED again, right? Didn't even think about like trying to have a nice conversation or would you mind? That was just my mentality. Which it's a bit selfish, right? But I do think like you have to move hard and fast to create things. And I think when people linger on decisions a lot because they're worried about what's the consequence, they don't do them, nothing comes to fruition, and then essentially they're stuck a year later in the same cycle. So I just made that decision.
You need to attack with that bit as well, and see in years to come, I'm sure you'll repay your mum and dad with the vision that you've got for it anyway.
I was going to say, your mum helps out with like the stalls and stuff like that, and also they obviously see the passion you've got for it. Obviously maybe moving in, they're like, what the fuck you talking about? That room's better.
And your dad breaks the coffee machine.
That's a text conversation we've just been having.
But as you were saying there, we obviously 8 figures and stuff like that, money, you had a wee bit of trouble with gambling and stuff like that before, and lead into your mental health, of course.
Mate, it's mad, right? Because it's like, I had a really bad gambling addiction and it's funny because it goes all the way back to when I was a wee guy. I can remember playing puggies. And it was just like, I loved this, man.
Lights and all that.
I loved that when I was a wee guy as well, but never ever came in. I loved the puggies, but whenever I get pocket money, I'd always play them. But never ever came in for me.
When I turned 18, the first thing I done on my 18th birthday, and everything got in my bed, mate, I signed up straight away for Sky Bet, Bet365, the whack, mate.
You must be easy to buy for, man.
A bookie gift card. But no, that was what it was, because it was normal to me, because I was like, right, I've been playing cards with people and playing poker and that, and I've been playing puggies when I was like young, and nobody thinks anything of it, but then it's like it leads to the next thing, and then before you know it, mate, I was, for a word that I lie, mate, I probably blew about 50 grand in my adult life, like on gambling, which is mad, man, like, because you can do so much with that money, but when you're locked into that mindset of, see, to be honest with you, I had an addiction to spending money.
That's what I was going to say, because you did say before about it was just spending money. It wasn't even the stuff. It was
an addiction to spending money, mate. That's what it was. It was like, it wasn't even, the bookies was the easy thing, because you've got it on your phone, right, and you can just whack 100 quid in.
So accessible, mate.
It's terrible, right? But again, it's your responsibility. Right? I do believe that. There is help out there for people that need it, but I went cold turkey when it came to me getting off it. I just made a decision. I'm not gambling anymore, and I cut it. I deleted everything, and I moved on for that in my life. So that's why I'm saying maybe I didn't actually have just a gambling addiction. Maybe I just had a spending money addiction.
Yeah.
And maybe I've still got that.
Yeah.
But now what I've done is I've channeled it into putting all the money into my business, because that's all I do now, mate. I just put every pound I've got into the business. And I think that's why I can actually say with confidence the 7 and 8 figure thing. Because I know that I'm willing to take the risk to put it all into that. And that's what you need, really.
It's going to benefit you now rather than hinder you. But I feel as though with the gambling one, it's always overlooked a wee bit more to other addictions.
Absolutely.
Because it's so easy done. Like, people just go and do it and nobody ever really batters. To an extent, like, if somebody got a ear addiction or heroin addiction or anything like that.
Even that sugar as well, you're saying £50,000, people spend that in coffees and stuff like that, and they don't see that as an addiction.
Mate,
people,
I've got
that yourself.
I do, honestly.
Here's to that.
The money gets spent, people just see addiction as such, it is a bad thing, obviously, like that, but you're being able to change it and channel into that. You're using your addiction, you're spending money, or spending it wisely. You can go through that growth. Exactly. It's a bit, as you say, it's all about growth, and then something, obviously it's going to be a negative to start, but you need to go through that period.
Yeah, I think as well, mate, like, especially in Glasgow, right? Like, we live in a culture where it's all about having the best thing, right? You've got to have the best thing. Doesn't matter how you afford it. No matter if it's on finance. You've got to have the best thing because you worry about what your mates think, and it's like everybody's out buying the best of cars, kicking about with Rolexes and kicking about in the designer gear before they're even successful, mate. And like, I was so caught up in that as well.
Yeah.
Like, I went up to town one day and literally like, where did I walk in? It was Rocks. I think it was Rocks. It was in Argyle Arcade, mate. And I just bought a Hublot watch for $5,500. And then I went up to Cruise and I spent another $2 or $3 grand. It ended up the end of that day, mate, I'd spent over 10 grand in the tune.
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
Like cash, but mate, like, just on my card that I'd had, it was money that I had saved for a period that I was actually doing all right, but I couldn't get away for that. I've got to spend this.
Yeah.
And then, but what was it? Instead of going, right, how can I turn this into 20 grand? I was just like, well, what will people think is cool? Oh, a nice watch and a designer hoodie.
That's what it is. It's to fire in the group chat or to say something like, it's always for the appeasing
for the picture on Instagram when you're out, because it would not to that extent, but I used to think it was bad buying like a £300 t-shirt to go out.
Mate.
Obviously
not to that extent, but still I didn't have £300 to spend on a t-shirt.
Exactly.
And all I was thinking about when I bought it was, I can't wait for the picture on Instagram. We got later so we'll see it.
Isn't it so Friday? Whereas now look at the 3 years, we're sitting here with our own brand on.
And
I preach this all the time as well. Like, if you have a business, brand everything.
100%.
Brand absolutely everything. It's like, I drive about in a cake van, like the cake mobile, mate.
You've got it tattooed in your arse and all, don't you? That's for another show.
If you want to go for breakaways one day, you want to fucking see what's going on here.
Bring that up.
But for me, that's a big shift in mindset and big shift in mentality. And again, it leads back to what we're talking about, addiction to spending money. Now I'm addicted to spending money in ways that I think will provide brand awareness, which in turn will be giving me a return of investment, and then will give me more money.
Gambling in another way, essentially, isn't it?
It's
always a risk.
Gamble on yourself. That's the biggest gamble you can do.
That's the
That was
thing, mate.
motivational for me then.
I know.
Clip that. Get that on the wall. Gamble on yourself.
That's the thing for me though. Like, I've accepted I'm a risk taker.
Yeah.
But now it's about, where do I channel that risk?
Yeah.
What do I get back for that risk? Do I want a buzz that essentially leaves me on a low?
Yeah.
Or do I want, let's be honest about it, quite a lot of stress, quite a lot of worry, still a bit of a buzz, but see the long-term picture. That's what I want from it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm trading those silly little instant highs, those instant dopamine hits, and I'm then channeling it into those longer build-ups, so the highs are going to be much higher.
Longer.
Like
longer as well.
Opening day, mate, I'm going to have a buzz that full week, that full weekend. Do you know what I mean?
Month maybe
Aye,
even,
well,
do you know what I mean?
That's it.
There's also nothing wrong with, as you say, getting those like wee gifts, get these wee things that you do, because you're making this money yourself, so spend it on yourself. But it's just sometimes when it's just stupidity, like sending £10,000.
It's alright spending that money if you have it.
Definitely, that's what I got to
This
say.
is the problem. People spend the money, even myself, when you don't have it.
See, like we were saying about people living these lifestyles and that, you don't see their bank account, they're probably in debt, credit cards maxed out. They are living that life, but they're definitely down as well.
What was that loan thing you used to get?
Oh, mate, Wonga loans.
Wonga loans. I used to have them a lot. See, when I was like 20 to 21, I would do that.
Used to be in a gaff because, what are you getting a fucking mad Wonga loan for a bad birthday, mate? Know what I mean? You'd be fucking full it for 3 days, man, or some cunt's mad tick bill, mate.
Terrible, I mean.
You would be, man.
Waking up on a Monday morning on Wonga a grand.
I never had a fucking email tick bill to me, mate. No. How the fuck did all Wonga 2 grand? I mean, man, feelings come my fucking Wonga.
And then, so touching on, obviously, you've struggled with your own mental health issues and that. Can you kind of give us a wee background story to that, where that started, how you've dealt with it, and where it's ended, or not ended, or continued, sorry. Continued,
See, to be honest, right, I've struggled with my mental health my whole life, right, and I said to myself the day when I was coming on this, I don't want this to be another one of these podcasts where it's like, oh, I've had so much trauma and I've done these mad things, and like every day they'll be like, oh, look at that guy, what a sad moment, and like, I don't want him to feel sorry for me, right? But I just want to try and come on here as a real guy, a real normal person who came from a normal background. I never had any madness in my life, right? Like, other people have definitely had much harder upbringings than what I've had, but I don't know why, I just always seem to struggle, mate. Like, my childhood was a lot of animosity with other people outside of my house, so like
me,
bullies.
I don't know, you bullies,
aye. But this is the thing I want to touch on, right? Like, for a lot of the time, I had a victim mentality, right? Through my childhood, through my teenage years, and through my adult life, until very recently, I had a victim mentality. I was bullied and this and that thing, right? And I was. right? But I was also bullying other people.
Yeah.
I wasn't a good person all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I had moments of being crap, but my moments of being crap I validated by saying, well, other people done it to me, so I'm just passing it down the chain.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way that I was validating myself, and I realised how shite that is. Like, rather than try to break the trend and be like, I don't want to treat other people like that, I was just going along with it. So I brought myself a lot of issues and a lot of sadness through that, and I isolated myself and a lot of loneliness, and my head was just chaos, mate. My head's been chaos for the best part of 32 years, and I'm 32-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Only, mate, the other week there was I standing in the shower in the morning, and usually in the shower I've got about 40 different things going in my head, right? I was standing out the other day and I was like, I don't hear anything. Nothing's happening in my head. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's because I've took responsibility. Like I said, I've made my own mental health my responsibility. So it's like I had all these struggles and I had that victim mentality, and they really followed me through life. And it came to a head for me. It came to a head when I was in the army, and I was absolutely flying, right? My career was flying in the army, and any of the boys that know me from my time in the army will tell you just how quickly I was progressing and how well liked and how admired I was, because I did have a good presence in the army and I was very good at my job and my fitness was an elite level, and people look up to you when you're fit in the army. And then I got injured and overnight it all came crashing down, and my mindset went instantly back to that. So I had managed to train myself through my short army career to have a very strong mindset, and then because this bad thing happened to me, I just slipped back into that victim mentality. And I was injured for the best part of 2 years. I had a bad back injury, right? It was one of these things that they couldn't really diagnose. They were giving me injections into my spine. It was a pure shit time, right? I couldn't do anything physical. So the doctors told me, like, and I was in pain, and they were saying, you'll never do this again, you'll never run again, you'll never lift weights again, all this. So I was just like, cool, that's me, I put it down, man. What will I do? So they're pumping me full of prescription drugs, right, to deal with the pain. Very quickly, again, addictive personality, just became reliant on them. So I lost 2 years of my life to prescription drugs that I was popping as cocktails. So it was like, oh, we'll start you on codeine, and then we'll up the codeine, and then we'll put you on, it was like gabapentin, and then we'll put you on tramadol. But I was finding ways to get more of stuff than what I needed. And I was putting it all together, and I was just lying there like comatose.
But that's a big problem that people don't, because I know loads of people that are in that get a small injury, not a small injury, but an injury, and they're straight. That's the first thing they do. There's no rehab, there's no nothing. It's go and feel numb, basically. So then when you get the pain comes back, what do you want to do? Get rid of it.
I've been there myself, to be fair, as well. Like, you get injured, and instead of working around that injury and benefiting your life in other ways, or benefiting your physical condition in other ways, you just feel sorry for yourself.
Because that's what they do to you. That's what they do.
I think for me, right at the start, I had this very motivated mindset. I was like, I'm going to do my rehab and I'm going to get better and I'll be back in no time. And then that just never really progressed. Yeah. And that's when that victim mindset slipped in again, rather than exactly what you said, rather than focusing on the wee things that I could control, which is where my mindset's at now. It's very, very cutthroat. Can I control it? Yes. Can I control it? No. And my actions come from there. I didn't have that at that time, and I just slipped into this horrible, horrible pit of pure misery, which ultimately, I know we used the word ended, but ultimately came to a head. It could have ended because it came to a head with me trying to do myself in, essentially. And I was in, I'll never forget it, mate, I was in my army room, and I'd played the game enough where it was like they wouldn't check up on me as much as what they should, because I was respected and I was valued as to being aware enough to be responsible and stuff. So I had got to a point where I didn't really have anybody like chatting my door loads, and I'm not saying that anything against anyone. It was more because I was trusted not to need that. I was given sort of grown up rules, and I thought, fuck it, man, I'm going to just pop all these pills and this will be done. And I popped hundreds of pills, mate. And I don't even know how I woke up the next day, right? But I remember waking up the next day and I thought it was a dream, and my sergeant was standing in my doorway, but it was just all blurry, like I was underwater. I was obviously still pure high as well, right? And he was just shouting at me like, Hunter, 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 are you alright? Get up for work. And I was just like, he didn't have a clue what I'd obviously done. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, I thought
he was just trying to get me up because I was usually up. It wasn't like me to sleep in.
That's that army culture though that you said there. No, like army culture, but that's back in the day or whatever. It's no chaplain, how are you doing, whatever it is. As you say, you're in there, you're not be a man, but we've spoke about that man up kind of situation. But
that's also that's what it does. The other coin where you do need to check in on people and make sure so that you've got both sides.
That's what I was about to say. It shows that even the manliest man
Yeah.
Needs that fucking cuddle, mate. Needs that hug, mate.
Definitely, mate.
And even if you did look at yourself without even knowing, you'd think that guy's a man, he's a fucking lovely guy, he's a proper. But we all need a fucking hug, mate. Seeing you there, I want to give you a hug.
I know, mate. I know. Because you've not even told us that.
No, I know. I was about to say,
not even that's a bit.
I don't let us know that, so we can write it back.
You got emotional.
But this is what I'm touching on as well, right? This is what I said at the start, where I don't want people to be like, oh, here's another victim.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like that for me, because I've taken a lot of lessons from that situation, right? And I've been able to put them into practice in my later life. And there's another situation like that I can touch on. It's a bit fast forward, a bit of a skip for a period in my life where I bounced back for that, and I decided that morning when I woke up, I decided, fuck what the doctors say, man, I'm getting back into the gym. And I actually had this mindset where I says, see if I end up in a wheelchair because my back becomes even worse, and that's what the doctors have said could happen, so be it. I said to myself, it's quite weird, right? But I said to myself, I went, I'll 100% become like a Paralympian or something.
Mate, I was just about to say wheelchair basketball, mate. I've always thought that was just purely, I've always thought that. See, whenever anything bad happens, I'm like, just go into a fucking sport where you can do it, mate.
I was sure honestly,
I felt like
give me a break,
mate. Honestly, I was thinking the
wheelchair basketball.
I was like, please don't say that. I'm choking to say that.
You said it.
I'm like, fuck, you know. That's exactly what I was thinking. There's always a fucking.
There's always something there that you can fall into, and how inspiring are those people that do things like that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, that was my mindset. I was like, right, I'm not going to lie in a pit of misery anymore and pop these pills and try and do myself in.
Yeah.
I'm either going to push the limits and become this, or I'm going to become this. And either way, my mindset's going to be champion from it.
Yeah. That's it. And just play to your ability.
You can only piss with the cock you've got.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that. To the viewers out there, you piss with the cock you've got. Well, it's 2025 these days, so I'm sorry. I'm including all cocks.
We don't discriminate in this podcast. I want to carry on talking about that a wee bit more, because I want to really talk about how you can flip your mindset. And like I said, from that period there, I then moved into that period of my life where CAKED started this, so that was before lockdown. So I then get discharged for the army, and it was like doing my own thing, and then that's when CAKED started the first time. That's when I went on the mad spending spree up the tour and all that. I was just living this life where I was like, I don't really give a fuck because I've had this happen to me, and like my mindset's so strong now, I'm just going to live for me. But it was erratic on the other scale. It was too erratic. Do you know what I mean? And then it all came crashing back down. I ended up taking a job as a valet at Arnold Clark. Hated it. I was like, how have I ended up? By the way, again, no disrespect to anybody that does that job. I don't have any disrespect, but for me, I was like, how have I went from being self-employed and doing really well off the back of such a bad thing to like feeling like I'm starting again? That's what it felt like. It wasn't that I was in a bad job, but I just felt like I was starting again. So again, I felt my mindset slipping a wee bit, but then I get into bodybuilding, and that kind of gave me a drive and a focus and
purpose and something to focus on.
To really put that.
We're going to talk about that, so that's good.
I'll no skip ahead.
No, that's exactly that. I'm glad it's led into it.
That's perfect. Well, it's like I had that focus, right? So I done bodybuilding, like you've obviously seen part of that journey, right? And I was like so locked in for probably the first 2 years. I was like, I never missed a meal, right? Like the first 2 years was like,
you were locked in.
I am locked in, man, and I ended up competing, and off the back of the competing thing, it was like, it kind of dipped. A lot of bodybuilders will relate to this. It's like after you have that prep and that big high that you've worked towards for so long, you kind of feel lost a wee bit. So my bodybuilding did slip a little bit, and things changed in my life, and I just felt that mentality changing again. And I was like, oh, no again, man. Surely no again. And I thought I was dealing with it better. And then you start talking to the people around you, and they're like, you're not behaving in certain ways.
You end up just kind of fogged out for it, or you don't realise you're doing that.
See, with that, and I hope you don't mind me talking about that, but obviously steroids is a big part of bodybuilding.
Yeah, of course.
You took them in your bodybuilding.
Absolutely.
Do you feel that had because you can get tested, non-tested. So I'm just saying, do you feel that had an impact on your mental health?
Absolutely.
And the way you acted?
Absolutely. But I'll tell you the biggest thing about it, man, denial. Oh, mate, because you're so locked in on this goal, and you'd think that the world revolves around your goal and you being a bodybuilder, nothing else matters. I don't care if I talk to people like shit. I don't care if I react in a bad way.
Especially when it's to be the best. You're doing something to be the best at something, so you've probably got that mentality where I need to be the best. I need to have this mentality constantly.
But again, like I've learned for that, like why can't you be the best and just be humble?
I know, exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's like what I'm trying to work towards now. Like that's the self-growth that I'm really working on now, is like just try to be a nice person and try to be humble, and and just trying not to be reactive, because that's what's held me back a lot in my life is reactions. And obviously being on steroids, everything's heightened. You hear obviously about the like roid rage and this and that thing, and like it. I was always like, it's not a thing, man. You can control your emotions.
I was angry before it.
Aye, exactly. Like nothing's changed. I was a duck and I'm still a duck. But it's like you use it as an excuse.
Yeah,
it becomes an excuse.
But I've noticed a massive change. I've known you all my life, mate. I've noticed a massive change in you in the last 3 months, maybe
mate,
4 months. Massive change.
Such a small even time period, you've changed massively.
So much calmer and so much
even
more
approachable, knowing that you weren't before. But even if I see you in the gym where we used to work in, you could look over and be like, "Fuck, not going in his direction, mate." Because you're a big guy, solid, you're driven, as you say. But if you met you, you're like the friendliest, friendly giant at the end of the day. No, but it's true.
Yeah, no, you're right, mate. It was all an excuse, and it was all an ego, mate. That's what it was. And like, especially what you've touched on, like the last 3 months, mate. Like, I've really been doing a lot of work on myself the last 3 months because I've had to. I've been forced into it, right? And I've been through those many stages of fuck no again. We're not having that mentality shift again. And a couple of things changed in my life. I obviously had to make a decision, mate. This shop came up out of nowhere, right? Like, the business was doing great, right? The business was flying. We were doing silly numbers in summer, right? And then I get a phone call. I've got a shop available, do you want it? I need to know by next week. I'm going, how
being a business owner, mate. It's what happens.
But I love it, mate. I love the fact that I don't get time to ponder on a decision because I'm an overthinker, right? So see if I had a month, what I'd have done is I'd have drafted up all the things that could have went wrong with it, right? First, I'd have focused on them, and then I'd have drafted up the things that would have went right, and I could have bounced them off each other. See, because I only had a week to move, I went, what positives can come for this?
And that's what
ABCD all the way through to Z, and I was like, cool, mate, we'll take it.
Yeah.
And my mum's going like, are you off your nut? Like, are you sure? My dad's going, I mean, you're moving pretty fast, son. I'm like, well, that's what successful people do, though.
Yeah.
They move fast, mate. They move fast, and, they make that decision, and they go with it, and they back it.
Imagine you're driving down that road, and you're looking, some fucking idiots took your chauffeur.
Exactly.
Man, how fuming you'd be. You fucking go down, you're like, that could have been me.
Yeah,
just because you've pondered on the fucking thing.
And what have you done over these last few months to help overcome your mental health issues that you've had? What have you been doing?
Self-awareness, mate.
Yeah.
Self-awareness and self-responsibility, accountability. Those for me are the standards that I have to live my life with now. Those are the things that I check myself with every day, which I never used to. I used to be lazy with it. I actively look myself in the mirror every morning now, say a couple of positive things to myself, and I tell myself I've got the capabilities to do anything that the day throws at me. I try and live my life with a few wee quotes, right? So one of them is what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. Another one from Alex Hormozy was, do so much work that it'd be unreasonable for you to be unsuccessful.
Seen that one.
And the other one was excellence is not an act but a habit, right? So I tried to combine. I found those 3 quotes separately.
Yeah.
I wrote them down, and I was like, I was reading them one night, and I was like, I can integrate them. I can integrate all of them, right? So if you've got an idea that you can conceive and you fully believe it, and you decide that excellence is a habit in your day, right? And you do so much work that it'd be unreasonable for you to be unsuccessful, you'll achieve it.
Yeah.
And that's just what I've done, mate. These last 3 months have been quick growth. I've actually had people saying to me, "Do you think you can change that quick?" And I'm going, well, do you know what? That's fine, but I know I have. I know I have. And it's because I've actually took action, and I've decided. I've made a decision, mate. Like, that's all it is. I've just made a decision. The same way as what you decide to have for lunch.
Yeah.
I've made a decision that I'm going to live my life by these factors, and nothing's getting in the way of it.
You don't know if it's wrong till you do it. You know what I mean? Exactly. There's no point. And what you said there, habits and choices are a big reason why people's, all the time, but their mental health and stuff like that. Look down, think about what the choices you're making day to day, weekend to weekend, and try and, not saying it's going to solve all your problems, but try and control the controllables.
But I think,
know what I mean?
Yeah, but as you said, a lot of people say they've got bad mental health, which of course a lot of people do, and we are massive on it in our community and helping people and stuff like that. But you've got to look at your life choices sometimes 100%. That are going to have a big impact on that, whether that's addiction, taking drugs, or not even addiction, just taking drugs or drinking a lot of the weekend, and how you feel through the week, job situation. Like, a lot of these things are your control. Like, you could change your job, you can stop going out so much at the weekend. Like, you can do things to change it and to help it.
It also relates very well to what I was saying about victim mentality, right? And like, listen, we're not here to slaughter people who are struggling, right?
No.
But
Yeah, all three of us have.
Aye, that's
Yeah,
it. What I want
exactly.
to offer is a different perspective for somebody. This might click with one person
Yeah,
and
exactly.
change their whole life, because that's what happened with me. It clicked for me, and it's ultimately completely changed my life in the last few months. I know for a fact if I hadn't done these things to work on myself, mate, this shop would not open.
Yeah.
This shop would have, I'd have handed the key back months ago, mate, and went, I can't do it, because I'd have been having meltdowns and throwing tantrums and being just crazy, mate, and being like, I can't cope with this. But learning that actually, like, all these choices are your choice, like all these things that you're doing, i.e. your reactions and whatnot, they're all your choosing, because ultimately you either allow your brain to control you or you control your brain.
Yeah, it's how you channel your energy, I suppose.
And it's choices, and as you say, that you're not speaking to everyone. This is personal preference,
Yeah,
and there's going
everyone's
to be
different.
there's going to be people
absolutely.
out there that's like yourself. So we're not sitting here and saying everyone's got a victim mentality.
No,
people
not at all.
genuinely have been through trauma. People
Yeah.
genuinely have terrible
Yeah.
upbringings, and they people deserve the world of respect and getting
help,
help.
mate, aye.
But we're trying to, obviously, on
We're
today's
appealing
episode,
to probably a demographic.
What the hell?
Word of the day.
Yeah, we need a
Word of
bell
the day.
here. We need a wee bell here for big words like that.
Daddy, word of the day.
We were going to get a Diddy bill.
There you go, then.
There you go, ding. So we're appealing to a demographic.
That's your first one of 5
people-
letters, man.
Yeah, maybe. What's 5 letters? Anyway, moving on.
No, but as you say, you're trying to, because there's obviously loads of different mental health and people reasons. So
Yeah.
we're just today, obviously, speaking about your own troubles with it.
Yeah.
And if anyone can get
Mate, I
help
think
with that.
I think we've went right. We touched on this earlier, right? I think we've went from a society who generationally before us, right, everything was fucking man up, man.
Aye.
Put your big boy pants on, shut the fuck up, and get on with it, right? And then what we done was we tried to get away from that, right?
Yep.
So which was amazing. See that shift at the start was amazing, right? So we shifted that energy to, like you said, mate, everybody needs a wee cuddle, and let's
of
open
course.
up and let's talk and let's be vulnerable, right? And by the way, being vulnerable is the most amazing thing you can do for yourself, right? Find a circle of people you trust, get vulnerable with them. Like, if you're struggling, that will help you massively. But the problem for me now is we went far too far off the scale.
Yeah.
And by the way, I fell into this so heavily, mate, where I thought I would just meet everyday people, mate, and I'd be opening up, I'd be trauma dumping on them.
Sitting greeting in the street, no,
mate, genuinely.
but you don't realise that person's probably got something.
Exactly.
There's
Yeah.
obviously times and
You're
places.
putting your
talk about it
problems
before.
onto other people, essentially, when the other people
Exactly.
have problems, you know.
And that's the problem is we went too far on that end of the
Aye.
scale, where it was like, no, all we're doing is just sharing a circle of our
Yeah,
problems. And then
yeah.
mate, we're only human, right? Usually I felt this, right? What happens when somebody's constantly talking to you about your problems and they're not doing anything to fix
That's
them?
what I was going to say.
You get sick of talking to them,
Because
mate.
you're
Yeah.
like, why are you coming week in, week out with the same issues?
Yeah, and
You're
you're
not
not doing
changing
anything
anything.
about
Aye.
it. So then, what we obviously discussed it. I've been trying to just bring a wee bit of sprinkle back into the middle and just saying, don't be a bitch.
It was funny.
Wasn't it funny because we both needed it as well
Aye.
at the time?
He told me about this. He was using a mantra, is it?
Aye.
I'm not all clued up in that. But anyway, he said that whenever something tough comes out, he says, don't be a bitch. And I was laughing. I actually went home. It was when I'd done that 48-hour
It was,
fast.
aye,
and
right
a
enough.
couple of times during that, I just said to myself, stop being a bitch.
Aye.
And it's funny because it
I know.
actually worked.
It's just a trigger,
Bizarre.
mate.
Aye.
It's a relatable trigger, right, for a man where you can just go like that to yourself, right?
Aye,
Stop being a
yeah,
bitch,
yeah.
and you can have a wee laugh to yourself. See the thing, it might only last 30 minutes, it might only last, might
Yeah,
even only
but
last
that's
a
all you
couple
need it
minutes,
for.
but that's breaking the cycle of the
Yeah.
thought process.
It's
Yeah.
all that, as you say, like it's the difference. People get annoyed at phrases people are using, words like
Aye.
people. It's what intent you're doing it with.
Yeah.
It's different if you're going fucking man up, you
Aye,
fucking wee Jesse,
yeah.
or whatever. You're a wee Jesse, fucking
Aye,
shut
sorry,
up. You know what I mean? Or different if you're just saying, here, by the way, you've had a bad day. Chin
Aye,
up, man
come
up,
on.
get up with it, let's
Aye,
go.
yeah.
I've got a bad day today,
Yeah.
and I'm fucking thing is the
Yeah.
person telling you to man up. They're probably having a
how
fucking
you-
shit day as well.
That's how you
You know
say
what I
it.
mean? It's
That's
all
how you use it.
intention, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like a guru
Good
here.
point.
I
I know.
know.
You're a counsellor.
Aye, still greeting.
Ah, you be Jesse. You. No, but as I say, there's people, like we were saying there, some people like to get spoke like that.
Yeah.
Some people need that, right? Calm down,
Yeah.
do whatever. It's about having the being PTs. You need to have people skills. You need to be able to like, look at someone's body language and
Yeah.
go, that's not going to help him today or
Yeah,
her today.
exactly.
That's like being able to look
It can
at
be
you.
on the day and on the time and
Aye,
on the
you
minute
could
of
just-
that situation,
aye.
how that person's reacting on how you react,
Aye.
and whether you tell them, right, come on, fucking
Yeah,
pull
yeah.
yourself together, or come on, like, everything's all right.
But
you're
again, the
okay.
flip side of it is as well, it doesn't have to be relied on other people, like you said. It's
Yeah,
having the
yeah,
self-awareness
yeah.
to
Aye.
know when the right time to tell you, mate, listen, I'm the biggest advocate ever of feeling your feelings, man, right?
Oh,
See,
mate.
you need a greet, mate, have a greet.
I'm a
There's
heart in your
nothing
sleeve
wrong
kind of
with it,
guy,
man.
mate.
Like,
I am very, like, but
like
as you
bottle
say,
up and whatnot.
No,
like,
no, I'm very-
your
I
heart-
tell
your
you,
heart in
I'm
your
the
sleeve, sorry,
opposite of you.
Aye,
I'm a
sorry.
very bottle. I'll never show anything just
No,
because
but
of
you
my
don't need to
dad
show
was.
it. show it to yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
This is
100%.
the time when it's right
100%.
because there is still times for that end of the scale, but there's definitely still times for that end of the scale. And if you can find that middle ground that works for you, then it's going to be better than just doing one extreme.
Yeah,
So
somewhere
we're
in the
three
middle.
different choices. We're saying three different things. We're all
Yeah,
different kind of.
Yeah.
So we all like to get spoke to differently. I'm a good laugh. I'll be able to talk. Sometimes you're obviously maybe well in. That's when you do let that anger it. But then you're a lot better at maybe keeping it in, but handling it.
I keep it
You
in
know
a
what I
lot
mean?
because for what we actually spoke about, because I don't want to put it on to other people.
Aye. But some people,
know what I
some
mean?
people be like myself. We've had many a chats since
Oh,
we came
yeah.
mates. I'm happy to help it, but when you want to help it, I'm not sitting here going.
I'll do it to some people, but like
Aye,
yourself,
aye.
even you, Gary, and that select people I'll open up to definitely, but in the whole
But that's what
That's
I said,
how
though,
you-
find your circle that you trust
Yeah.
and open up to them. That's what I was touching on, the other end of the scale that we've ended up in.
Too
is
much,
too
aye.
much of opening up to too many people that
Around
you don't even
people.
trust and you don't
Aye.
even know.
And then-
Do you
and
know what I
then
mean? And
some
then you then end up questioning yourself going, I'm telling too many people
I
too
know,
many
I'll
things.
bet
and
you
then-
next door.
But some people are happy to see your downfall as well, so they'll probably be telling people, "Oh, Gary's fucking greeting again. Gary's
yeah.
all this. Or Steph's fucking
That's true, man.
burnt his bridges while he's doing it." People buzz off that.
Yeah.
So it's
I
a bit.
can't believe you done that.
I know I'm a pure tramp, by the way. How much we charging for this cake event?
Anyway, just to finish on the kind of mental health subject, is there one thing that you could say to people out there just to finish up on that you would advise for them or that they can do? Or
For me, it comes back to self-accountability.
Aye.
Like you just have to be accountable for your own choices and your own daily habits. If you're sitting there every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday saying, I want to kill myself, I hate myself, but you're spending Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the drink, on the gear, gambling, doing things that you know will negatively impact the start of your week, change it, make the change, do something, be accountable.
There's loads of places out there as well. People like genuinely reach out for any sort of addiction help.
Speak as well,
Speak
yeah.
out, like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I want this platform to be, obviously we're fucking two diddies having a laugh. You need to be able to have a wee bit of a joke with it as well, because the thing is, laughter.
if you don't laugh, you'll greet.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the old saying go.
Right, I've greeted my laughter.
I like that one.
But here, on the wall again, mate. Get this shit on the wall, man. This place is going to be needing new paint, mate. It's just...
Right, I've beat me laughter.
But speaking about cakes, right, as you obviously, you've got a story about a tea cake here, your road rage. Talk about any rage where you...
Mate, the thing is, right, it's like, I know we just said about like ending the mental health stuff, right, but this actually does integrate back into it, right, because it was during a time in my life where I was playing the whole victim mentality so heavily, man, right? I wasn't taking accountability for my own actions. I was just thinking that I could just do what I wanted and it was everybody else's
and it
fault.
was okay.
Don't get me wrong, man, this story was somebody else's fault.
Of course it was, alright.
Plot twist, yeah.
Classic victim
See all
mentality,
that-
this guy.
All that work he's done for the last 3 months, chuck it right to the window.
Poor Gary.
Stay away from this man who's got a
Aye,
tea cake in his hand, right?
They've got his business book cake 20 seconds in.
Can't believe we're even going to talk about this. My mother's going to absolutely slaughter me, man.
So
But
she's a big fan.
do you know the thing, mate? It's like, it was just such a stupid incident, man. Like, it was just a normal day driving to the gym, right? And I'm not even going to tell the full story because there's no point. We'll just summarise it. Right?
Yeah.
Driving to the gym, somebody nearly causes a crash by undertaking. Then decides to start filming me, calling me all sorts of dogs abuse. By the way, I was getting absolutely hounded
I
off
want to see this
person,
video, by the
man,
way.
right? Like hounded off them. On the motorway as well, man, window down, screaming abuse at me, man. I just seen red, mate. I was just like, fuck you, man. I had a tea cake in the car, mate. And I just, left hand, man, right out my window, right in their window, splat against the face, man. Like,
That's a good motto to start the cake business. I grabbed that tea cake, and when I
mate.
felt it, I was like,
honestly,
Thank
man.
God it wasn't one of the cookie dough
Oh, if it was
caramel
one of
things.
the-
They'd
mate,
have
if it was a
loved it.
cake cookie, man, I'd have been up for attempted murder, man.
did
Genuinely.
he write his
would
motor off?
have. But mate, this is the thing, right? Like, there's a big lesson to be learned for this, and I've took a lot away from it, man. Like,
Don't
even
get in a motor with
I
you.
had somebody try to road rage me yesterday, mate, and my reaction to it's just so different now. It's like
It was a box of tea cakes.
belt fed, mate. No, but it's like as much that was a shit time in my life, right? Because it ended up, mate. I went to court and I ended up charged. And
Fuck's sake,
like,
tea
I
cake
get done-
abuse, man.
Yeah, I
That's
get
a
done
new
with
one.
assault. I got done with assault. Like I get 150 hours community service. Like that actually turned
big was the
into
tea cake?
I know, mate. I know. But like, but see, jokes aside, right? For
Yeah.
one moment, I know we'll have a laugh.
Sorry,
But
sorry.
see, jokes aside, right? That was a terrible period of my life,
Yeah.
right? Where all I couldn't see past was they done that to me. They caused me to react like that. but who chose to react like it? Ultimately, it was my decision that was wrong, mate.
You don't
even need to, mate. Do you know what I mean? I should have
just smile and drive on, because at the end of the day, then you go on your day in 10 minutes, you forget about it, and you get to eat your tea cake.
And I get to eat my tea cake. Exactly. But it's like, see, when, mate, everyone makes mistakes, right?
Yeah,
everyone makes mistakes. I'll continue to make mistakes in my life. Like, we all will, right? We all will make mistakes, but it's what you do when those scenarios arise again. So, like, there's examples. There's somebody tried to road rage me yesterday, a woman in a car. Mate, I've put the indicator on in the van, right, to move from the right lane into the left lane, and I've looked, and I was like, right, Hunter's a room, cool. Moved in, and the next thing, this horn has blared, right, like, no, somebody just holding the horn.
Yeah.
So I've jumped. I actually shot myself, right? And I was like, and I hit the brakes as well.
Caked and shite.
Like, caked. Lovely. And I've actually like almost emergency stopped because I've shot myself because I thought, what's going on here? And like nobody's even near me. I'm looking in the mirror and there's like a car like a good few back from me, man, right? Like maybe she's about 2 cars back from me. And I thought, my indicators don't work. Like, my indicators must be broke. I've got a light on the dash in the van, so I thought it was a number plate light. I was like, my indicators must not be working. So I moved back into the right lane because we got stuck at the red light, and she's the first car. I've put the window down and I've been like, does my indicators not work? And then I realised that might sound cheeky, so I went, but I'm really sorry. Like, I put my indicator on. Did it know? Is it broken?
Aye.
She's like, just because you indicated doesn't mean I've got to let you out. And I've just done that, mate. I went, okay, and I put the window up, right, and sees the window's going up, mate. It was like that, bye driver, and the distance, mate. She's shouting abuse at me about stopping distances and this and that.
That's mad. I don't get why people get so. I very rarely get road or angry on the road. Like, why? Like, I just don't get it.
Well, there's the thing though. It's like for me, I drove away for there, like what you're saying, right? I drove away for there, and I was like, I've actually grown for that incident that happened to me that caused me a lot of shit. Like,
yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
I know, because all jokes aside, that's a bad thing, mate. You've actually got a criminal record from something so
stupid, mate.
Stupid.
So if you tell
so
someone
silly.
that story, they'd be like, shut up, what did you do?
Mate,
I know.
The thing is, it's like, every single person I've told that story from is buckled, right? And like, my mum doesn't find serious things like that funny, and even my mum was like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Obviously, until it got so serious, and then you're like, this is actually like impacting my life now.
Yeah.
But it's like, what do you do? Do you continue road raging people and end up with another charge and another charge and another? Or do you just put the window up and say, all right, and accept that you've actually grown from it? And see, as long as we grow from our mistakes and we become better people, mate, then really are we bad people? We're not, man. Like,
you're always going to make mistakes.
Just come and tell the Diddies all your issues. That's what we try to get to anyone out there. Get yourself
Listen to your Diddies.
Therefore, your Diddies don't like you.
Anyway, we'll get moving on, because that was good. That was a really good chat there, to be fair. We have 10 quick fire questions for you, Mr. Hunter. You want me to go first? Take us the right way up.
Here's the part where I don't move fast.
So these are going to be related to your cake, bodybuilding, different things, okay? So first I've got favourite playlist to bake to.
Oh, mate, I love a bit of James Blunt, man.
James Blunt?
Aye.
I like a wee bit of James Blunt.
James Blunt,
Favourite song?
Hi.
Hi.
Sing it for us. Oh no, actually that'll be my last question.
Love it. Second, if you weren't doing cakes, what would you be doing?
Mate, probably still chasing the personal training thing, man. Like,
I thought you were going to say still chasing that driver.
Chasing that one. No, probably still chasing that, mate. That was the thing that I'd done for a long time and that I was passionate about, and it just didn't really work out for me. It's a hard industry. Like,
we've
I
cracked
take my hats off to you guys for how well you're doing. You found that gap in the market, like we spoke about. But for me, I probably still, I say chasing because we spoke about how like there's too many coaches try to be elite and try to have the best athletes and try to be this, but that's what I was caught up in as well. I was trying to be the best bodybuilder and the best bodybuilder.
Sometimes just being relatable to your average person.
The thing is, people always try and get that 5-10%. We'll take the whole 90. That's what I say, mate. We'll take the whole fucking 90.
Look at the class the other night. 50 people in the class the other night.
I know, it's mad.
I know, it's mental. So get yourselves down. Elite Evolution, Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturday mornings.
Put a plug for yourself. Please know your ring. By the way, come down. They're nice guys. The coaches are brilliant.
Would you rather be Arnold Schwarzenegger or Mary Berry?
Oh, that was it. We should have picked someone else.
That's a mad question, isn't it?
That's a crazy question.
Obviously now, mate, Mary Berry.
Mary Berry.
Why are you holding hands?
That's amazing, man.
Hunter, man.
That's
brilliant.
Buzzing with that, man.
Yeah,
Buzzing
just
with
end the show
that.
there.
We round up
That
pause.
was
We round
well
up
done.
pause.
Oh, mate, I'm happy. I walk
Well
out with
done,
a
son.
fucking smile all day. Honestly.
He knows that's getting clipped, that, right?
I'm out of breath there. I was like, wheelchair basketball.
You're a fun. Right, anyway, continuing on, Henryberry. Fourth, Greg's Olds or Baines Bakery.
What, all the competition?
Aye,
Fucking none of them. Fucking none of them. Come to CAKED for your coffee.
Sorry, what's the best of the three of them?
I'm a Greg's man, me, mate.
You're
I'm
Greg's
a
man,
Greg's
are you?
Did not expect that, Gary boy.
No, I'm a Greg's.
Oh,
loyal, mate.
Baines.
Baines, aye. I must admit, right, I'm going
the price of
to
Greg's,
drop,
isn't it?
going to drop a bomb here. I've never tried a Baines.
Oh, mate, get the steak bake.
However,
Beefy bake for
I'm
Baines,
also
mate.
going to drop another thing, mate. There's a Baines opening 2 doors up for my shop.
Yeah.
So
Fuck them, fuck Baines.
Oh,
Fuck
aye.
Baines.
Fuck Baines, fuck
Unless
Greg's.
you want to sponsor the pod, we'll fuck this guy.
I'm going to just do this just quickly to get it back, and everybody said CAKED. Said the other names too many times there.
Aye, we'll go to Baines.
And last one to finish off, now a wee nice one. Favourite motivational quote? I think you gave a couple
Aye,
of
I gave those 3, didn't I?
Yeah.
For me, if I had to
Pick one.
of those 3, for me, it would be whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve.
Love it.
So, for myself, so I have to laugh.
That's so mad.
Ultimate cheat day meal for when you were doing your bodybuilding.
I'm a
What was-
burger man.
Burger man,
Burger
nice.
man.
Homemade or
Five Guys.
Five
Sunrise,
Guys.
yes.
See the thing with 5 Guys, but I need 2 burgers.
Ah,
And
you
it's
did.
about
Yes.
50 quid.
See, aye, to be fair, I see a lot of people doing that, but I was more fries, mate. Like,
Oh, were
I
you?
love the fries
Oh,
for them.
Need a
So,
milkshake as well. She put a bite of the burger, chips, and a bit of milkshake on the winner.
Dip the chips in the
Oh,
milkshake. Please
or the-
tell me that's a
aye,
thing, innit?
mate.
Aye, so
Aye.
good, man.
Mate, I
So
do some
good.
minging stuff with food, so
Aye,
that's
I
alright.
know. You're a
You're meant to eat it?
I can't believe you pulled your boxers down Levita.
You've got clays to
Disgusting. Lovely.
Biggest lesson the army taught you?
Biggest lesson the army taught me, shut my mouth. Genuinely, right, that's going to sound so abrupt. When I joined the army, I was 23, so I already had a base of being a young adult, and I thought everything needed a response. I thought every interaction you had to say something back, and I very fucking quickly learned that that's not the case. And I was very confused, mate. I was like, what? I'm just trying to say, like, my bit about it. But they don't give a fuck, mate. They're just like, here, shut up. Like,
Aye.
we don't need a response. So for the first probably 2 or 3 months of training, man, I was a pain in the arse. I actually got called the arsehole of the platoon, man, because it was just like, I just wouldn't be quiet, but I didn't know anything else. That was like,
Yeah.
that was the way I was brought up. Was
But
just,
I remember you from playing football.
Oh, mouth
Years
feel.
ago, you just never
Just
shut up,
couldn't
mate.
shut up.
Aye,
The
yeah.
platoon arsehole.
honestly, mate, I remember it, man. Big, mate, Ian White, his name was, man. He's a big monster, big Irish boy, man. He was fucking huge, mate. He was a scary bastard, and I just remember him screaming at me one day, man. He's like, "You are the arsehole of this platoon." I think it was followed up with something like, "I'm going to take you in that drying room and bounce your head off the washing machine," or something like that. But very quickly after that, I was like,
Yeah,
I need to just catch this and just
Yeah.
stop shutting up. And
That's
start shutting up,
Start
sorry.
shutting
So that for me was a massive lesson that I've taken into the rest of my life. No, everything needs a response.
No.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
brilliant. I like that.
One fitness myth you wish people would stop. Like you see stuff, as we say, try to create new fucking workouts every 2 days.
Mate, just fucking see, why have people lost the ability to just do the simple exercises, man?
Lift weights.
Just lift heavy weights, right?
correctly.
Stop complicating things, man. Like, when I was at the peak of my bodybuilding, I was quite lucky that I had a pal, Eddie, who is an elite level bodybuilder, but he's very, very knowledgeable. He's training, he taught me a lot, and even when he was telling me things to do, I wasn't believing. I was still doing it, right? But in my head, I was going, I want to do more. I've been used to 4 sets of 10. Why am I now only doing 1 set of 8 and 1 set of 12? Like, why am I doing that?
Yeah.
But then I learned that it's incorporating that volume into that to be able to lift heavier than what you would for like the 4 sets. It's basics, mate.
But what we also said was that people, coaches now, some coaches are like trying to train everyone to be an elite bodybuilder. People don't want to go in and do it. People want to go in and just be able to do a workout and enjoy it and then go home and feel better for it.
Aye.
Sometimes
That's true as well.
Sometimes, as you say, they just want to come in and talk. Something like a therapy session, some of the
Yeah.
PT sessions that I do, and you're saying they lift heavy weights. People need to start realising lift what's heavy to you, not to what's heavy the next guy beside you. I've got people come in, they're like, "Oh, he was lifting 30, so I tried it, injured myself." I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean? That guy's been fucking lifting for years."
How many times as well you seen people now that are just doing fucking stupid things and they're putting attachments onto things that don't need attachments, and it's like, like for example, the one that bugs me the most, right, is like people have like a mag grip on the lap pull down and they'll put D handles on it.
Oh my God.
So they've went from having the handles there to having the handles there. Like,
you can only bring your elbow so far back.
I don't understand
what
what
I mean. This is about you
I
need
know.
to squeeze, like, just squeeze
I don't really get that either.
So they're just all this new age fitness. It's not even a myth, mate. It's actual reality. All this new age fitness bullshit, mate. Like, it's so stupid, mate. Just
back
do
you up on that.
squat, bench, deadlift, mate.
Yeah.
See if you program everything off of those free lifts with some assistance exercises, you're going to grow muscle.
But you know what Big Mark's like? He's high level strength conditioning coach. He's like that. Like, people just overcomplicate everything. And he was a world champion powerlifter and now more or less a world champion jiu-jitsu.
Exactly.
Also, if
and
you
one
want,
of the strongest in his field.
It's unreal. So all you see him is winning things, and he comes across a good guy. Hopefully, he'll be on the pod
Mark,
soon.
you're coming on the pod. I'm going to ask you on Sunday.
Also, if you're looking for two coaches that know that, let's talk about let's do it right here. You know what I mean? But favourite cake to make? What's the cake you've looked and you've been like, that was fucking top?
Well, the thing is, mate, this is the thing about cakes, right? So here's a shameless plug for you, right? We're not just another cake shop, mate, right? But what I mean by that is like, you're not going to walk in and find an Empire biscuit on our shelf, right? We're not like that. We do everything. We don't do everything traditionally. We do everything
on roids.
Mate, essentially, like that's
the cakes
what
are
it is.
on roids.
It's like so nothing is just nothing's traditional.
I'm
still laughing. That's why I started there. So I was just picturing. I was just picturing like injecting the cakes.
Big hairs.
Big hairy berry over here.
That feels so funny, mate. I can't get over that. I'm so happy with it.
I know. Fuck tell.
Mate, ask me the question
Don't near
again.
the end there.
So what's your favourite cake to make?
My favourite cake to make, mate, is our bog trotters, man, right? So based on the Matilda cake.
I was going to say,
fudgy brownie on the bottom, chocolate fudge cake on the top, chocolate sauce all throughout. Mate, you won't find anything else like it anywhere.
We've tried them.
I love Shabby Fair. It's your, I don't know what they're called. The
cookies,
cookie dough ones
love
with
the
the wee
stuffed
caramel
cookie,
well in the middle.
The caramel slice, kind of white chocolate one you gave us last time as well. Oh my
caramel
fucking
cookie bar, mate.
God,
They're
bro.
they're the newest product that I've done, and they've probably shot up to like being one of the favourite.
Also, not even just to try and reasonably priced and all. Like for the fucking, honestly, I ate half of one. I was like, I'm full. So for what you're getting is that what mine went? I was like, that fucking Maggie was getting that.
Right. Mate, that was one thing what I wanted with the business was like, I don't want to rip people off, man.
No, honestly,
I really don't.
Yeah,
I'm interested in making money, but I'm not interested in being one of these absolute.
How much money do you need? But as well, you make the business is going to grow regardless.
Exactly, bro.
So we've already touched on it a wee bit there, but favourite karaoke song we always do it with the guests. So
Angels, Robbie Williams, mate.
Oh, love it.
I'm going to see that next year, man.
Angels instead.
Every
And
time,
through
bro.
it.
Cheer up. Your tongue, Gary.
I know, but well, to be fair, fucking if you ain't to plug, obviously the shop opening and stuff like that, but anything else, content, Instagrams.
Obviously, the shop opening, like we said before, 22nd of November at 10 a.m. Down at 1622 Great Western Road in Anniesland. Our Instagram page is at CAKED GLA. Same for TikTok, which we're getting right back into. We're doing loads of lives and stuff again, which is good. It's kicking off, which is great. I would also like to say if anyone's looking for any workwear, we were talking about this before. My two friends, Kelsey and William at Brandify, who have produced this t-shirt here. Their stuff is completely high quality.
Top quality stuff, to be fair. We'll be definitely looking into getting some stuff.
If whatever area you're in as well, they'll cater to you. They're really good people, and their standards are just through the roof, man. So them definitely. But other than that, just the shop. Please come down. I'm sitting here like this wee guy that's having a birthday party going, what if nobody shows up? Like, do you know what I mean? But
I'm sure
I know
plenty of
fine
people
well
are going to show up, mate.
Supporting people.
There'll at least be one Diddy there, obviously, in Spain, so we'll be alright.
We'll be alright.
There's loads of, there's going to be some content coming. A wee collab with the CAKED and the Two Diddies and all, so definitely to keep your eyes peeled.
Two Diddies getting their aprons on, sorry, on you go.
That is another episode of the Two Diddies. What episode it was, and I can't thank you enough, Gary.
Thanks for
Cheers, Gary. Thank you very much, mate.
Pleasure,
Smash that.
Love that.